Good morning, friends. I welcome you to the Hindu and the Business and Editorial Analysis on June 16th, 2022. I am going to discuss the Sri Lankan policy of the Indian government as appeared in the Hindu on today. The writer says, recently Indian government pledged support to Sri Lanka for its medicines, energy, and food needs. $3.5 billion have been sanctioned. Recently, the Sri Lankan Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe has stated the sub-regional cooperation as most important for the development of the southern districts of India and Sri Lanka together. The sub-regional cooperation, in which the sub-region includes the 5 southern districts of India with a population of 25 crore, together with the 5 districts of southern India and Sri Lanka, it could be a wonderful cooperation, my dear friends. India has recently extended a line of credit through Exim Bank of India of $55 million for the coming Ella paddy season. There are 2 seasons in Sri Lanka, Ella and Maha. Come, let us understand with the help of a picture what is this Ella season. Ella season is one of the 2 biggest seasons in Sri Lanka. The other one is Maha. It is the time when paddy harvesting is done. The Sri Lankan government has been provided with the money to procure urea during the Ella season. Hence, the sub-regional cooperation, which comprises of the 5 southern districts of India and Sri Lanka together, could make a $500 billion worth of GDP, is the significant point coming out of this article. However, Sri Lanka views India as Sri Lankan Sinhalese people view India as some outsider. Most of the projects are awarded to Chinese companies. The historical baggage. The article says about a historical baggage. Earlier, in the pre-historic times, the Indian kings used to invade Sri Lankan kings, Sinhalese kings, and just defeated them. And in 1983, India supported the Tamil movement, and therefore the Sri Lanka has a historical baggage fear that India would be working detrimental to its interests. Therefore, many projects like Colombo's Eastern Container Terminal, Trichonamele's Western Container Terminal was awarded to India. However, Colombo's Eastern Container Terminal was awarded to China. India, Japan, and Sri Lanka entered into a tripartite agreement for developing the Eastern Container Terminal in Colombo. However, it could not materialize because it was cancelled because of this fear of this historical baggage and the previous government of Sri Lanka. However, the Trichonamele Eastern Container Terminal and the oil tank were provided to India. With the help of pictures, I will explain all these projects, my dear friends. Look at this picture. The port of Colombo, the port of Trichonamele, and the minor port at Kanganashanturai are all there indicated in this diagram in the Sri Lankan map. Just have a closer look. As can be seen from the picture, Sri Lanka makes a U-turn in the East Container Terminal at Colombo port that was to be developed by the tripartite agreement between India, Japan, and Sri Lanka, and it was awarded to China. So, this is a great disappointment in the project that India undertakes to bid in Sri Lanka. Look at this picture. The eastern side or the right hand side of the picture shows the Trichinomaly Baticola belt. This is a sea belt in which India has been given entry, and India wishes to develop a belt, Trichinomaly Baticola belt, and the Trichinomaly port which India wishes to develop. This is a major development. This is yet another project awarded to India, the Trichinomaly oil field. This is a greater source of energy for the Sinhalese, and India is going to develop this oil field in Trichinomaly. This is an encouraging a development. This is the minor harbor at Kanganashanturai. Earlier, there was the hiccup in the development of the Kanganashanturai harbor, and Sri Lanka just is disappointed that the previous government could not take it up. Here, therefore, a connection between Kanganashanturai and Karaikal in Puducherry has now been established by the Sri Lankan cabinet some days before. So, the Kanganashanturai and Puducherry connection will help the movement of freight between Puducherry and the minor harbor at Kanganashanturai. This is a kind of encouragement as part of proposals. The flights from Jaffna to Trichy has also been allowed. This is the Palai airport in Jaffna. India's participation in the Palai airport development could not take off because of the absence of political will. This is another discouragement in India-Sri Lankan relations. A 500 megawatts power project, thermal power project in Sambur in Sri Lanka, Eastern Province, could not be materialized. It was a deal between the NTPC and the Ceylon Electricity Company. However, it could not materialize. Similarly, the Kangeswanturai port and the Palai airport could not be materialized, and hence the tension remains in the region. With the help of pictures, I will explain all these projects, my dear friends. Friends, this is the 500 megawatt thermal electricity project in Sambur in Eastern Province. This was the collaboration between NTPC Limited in India and the Ceylon Electricity Board. However, very unfortunate to note that this has been cancelled. The recent power crisis in Sri Lanka due to the economic crisis prompted people to think that had this project been materialized, this would not have led to the recent power crisis that Sri Lanka faced. See how the projects in Sri Lanka one by one because of the political pressure were cancelled. Thank you, my dear friends.